Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table, where today I am using a bold bright kit from a company called GoToTreasureBox.com. I bought this kit at several actually at a yard sale recently, which you might have seen on my yard sale haul video that I did. Here's the suggested layout with this material. Really, all I'm using is, from the sketch, is the placement of the photos, which I already created these photo blocks when I was on a Zoom call with someone the other night. I printed out the Pittsburgh skyline and these 3 Segways. I only end up using one of those, and I don't know if it even made it in the still shots because I added it later. These are from Cartabella, the papers that I'm using, and the collection was called Addison. I have this large cut file exploring the city. Sadly, I do not know where I got that. Here's some things I printed out. Here's a thing I made for a swap. I kept one for myself, and I used that for some inspiration to create some embellishments for this page. So since I knew where I wanted the photos, I go ahead and place those. That great cut file exploring the city, it could have been from an Etsy shop called Liz Longest Designs. I tried to look, but the Etsy shop is no longer there. And I don't think I bought it from MK, where I've bought several cut files. So sadly, I just don't know where I got it. But I'm glad I found it in my stash because it was perfect for these pages. So I'm just using the dots kind of to line this up. I wanted it to match where the cut file black paper is. And at first I put this Pittsburgh skyline toward the bottom, but you'll see shortly that I move it up to be part of the photo cluster that's on that page. I'm also playing along with a bingo challenge on My Scrappy Life with Miranda, and she had a crop on her Facebook page last weekend, and I didn't get to play much because we had company, but I did manage to do this layout. And so for the bingo challenge, I have 2 alphas in 2 colors, a 4x3 landscape photo, polka dots, film, Viewmasters, or a camera, and a black background. Now I am stamping Life is a Beautiful Thing from a Stampin' Up set in a bright blue Distress Oxide color. Let me see, that was Mermaid Lagoon. The red there is just some fun foam that I'm using to stamp on. Gave me a good background for stamping. I cut this, the square, it's really a stitch square with a die set from Close to My Heart. Now that they're gone, I wish I had bought the rectangles that were like this too. You get frames as well as squares, and they are stitched. I really like them. So I put a little bit of this Viewmaster on here. And then I'm going to use this set, which I think is from Hero Arts, and add a little bit of red to the layout so that the color scheme is yellow, blue, red, so primary colors, and then I have some neutrals in the black and white. This red is Lovely Lipstick, I think that's what it's called, from Stampin' Up. And I'm just adding some tiny hearts. In the still shots, you'll be able to see that I added some of those tiny hearts in some of the circles that came in the kit with words on them. That way the red is kind of spread out in tiny bits throughout this layout. So I'm thinking about where to put this. I mull it over for a while, but eventually it goes right about there. And I put the film strip beneath it. So I tuck that under the Pittsburgh skyline, and I actually bring in another one and tuck two there. So they are layered up a little bit. And the words in the circles across the page, if we start at the far left, in the center of the 4 photos, it says, "You make me smile." Then we come across to the right-hand page at the top. In the same block as the cut file, it says, "Because every picture tells a story." And on the photo below the cut file, it says, "Enjoy today." If you've never taken a Segway tour, I encourage you to try it. We've done 2. This was our second. We first did one about 5 years ago in Corpus Christi, Texas. That one was a bit easier only because you weren't navigating on city streets much at all. We were mainly on like a bike path and walkway. So this one was a little more challenging, but it went well, and it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I expected it to be once I saw where we were actually going to be doing it. The group was a little large, but it was still nice. We had fun, and it was a beautiful day. It was warm, but it was beautiful. You can see in the one picture that I'm wearing a cooling towel around my neck because I don't handle the heat very well, and being in the city with the sun, the heat just coming up off the pavement, I needed that cooling towel. I was glad I had it. So I pulled out a couple more discs from like a Viewmaster, and I backed them with a scrap of red that's the same red as the ink that I did the little hearts with, and I added that in a few places in 3 Viewmasters across the page, because the bulk of the page for the primary color is yellow, but I wanted to add bits of blue. And there's only that tiny bit of blue in the words, but there's blue in the sky and in Dan's shirt and my helmet. So I think that all works well together. So my journaling says, since Dan had the day off, we planned a 3-day weekend in Pittsburgh. Today we took a Segway tour of the city, had amazing ice cream, and explored the beautiful Phipps Conservatory. Next up, we go to Tom and Linda's. Tom is my brother. He and my sister-in-law live about half an hour north of the city, and we hadn't really spent much time with them since the wedding in November, and then we had a brief dinner together at the end of January. So we wanted to spend some time with them, so we stayed with them Friday night and Saturday night, and there'll be more pages about that soon, I'm sure. I put the date in a little tab above that photo beneath Exploring the City. It's July 5th of 2024. We are coming to the end and the still shots here. I'm so glad you joined me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I hope you get to spend some time crafting or scrapbooking very soon. Have a good day. Bye.